Everyday superpower. We talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. All right. I'm gonna talk to the men, give you a little bit of backwards information in relation to the status quo, at least in relation to what people generally tell you. If you want to be a man and be an attractive man, when I say be attractive, I mean have women approach you to whichever degree, more than likely a minor degree, as opposed to an overt declaration of presence, but allow themselves to become available around you for you to approach them, or for the potential to accidentally engage with these women, right? As it's always an accident, right? But it's all very biological sound, because if she didn't want you to talk to her, she wouldn't be close to you. She wouldn't be anywhere near your presence. She wouldn't open up the gateway for you to be able to discuss. You need to be vulnerable. Okay, and I'm going to go into depths and examples of this, but you, as a man, need to be vulnerable. And this is a look into the dark side, all right? Because when you first start learning about what a woman might want, what a man wants, and what masculine is and what feminine is, generally you come to this stubborn and static form of masculine and feminine, one representing dominance and one representing submission. And you need to understand both sides of this equation and learn how you yourself portray and distribute the feminine and the weak and the soft and the passive, just as much as you express the dominant and the overbearing and the strong and the powerful. So you need to be vulnerable. And I'm saying not only in a relationship sense, which is the truth, there needs to be some degree of vulnerability to allow her to know you're comfortable and confident and secure at the very most, right? So it goes hand in hand. There is still this undercurrent of masculinity, but it derives from a different place. So if I say I'm vulnerable to the point where I can tell you about my past failures, without highlighting them like I'm a loser, like I'm more than happy and more than confident to teach a story and tell a story and have a laugh in the utmost confidence about my past failures and the times when I've been weak, and self-assessment of my psychological, if not physical health, as to where I might not be as strong as I want to be, but I'm willing to persevere and progress and so forth. That's a showcase of vulnerability that she will find attractive, because it's self-aware first and foremost, it's comfortable and confident secondly, and so many men are before her putting up this defensive mechanism, this defensive wall, because they've never done any degree of introspective action. They've never looked at themselves. They've never done anything other than try to appeal to others by presenting themselves in a manner which isn't actually them, but is but a mere shell of whom they are. And if you want to get in between her legs, you need to get in her head, you need to get in her mind, you need to explore her mind. She will be fulfilled and enchanted by the fact that this person has such a deep connection with her, because nobody else does. So alike you, she wants to be in a position where she is vulnerable and you can be vulnerable together. Now, this isn't necessarily where I wanted to go with this conversation. I wanted to talk about vulnerability in a cold approach sense, right? In a open engagement with somebody new. My apologies, people, if I seem a bit bunged up. I need to blow my nose, don't I? One moment. Okay, so she's going to be less likely to approach you if you're presenting this overt, strong, stiff, overbearing, potentially overcompensating masculine avatar, this masculine presentation of self, this masculine vessel that withholds your beautiful mind. Okay, she is gonna not sit beside you at a cafe. She's not going to come close to you on the train tracks when you're waiting for a train, on the train station at least. She is not going to sit beside you when you're waiting for a bus. She is not going to engage with you and come close to you, especially in this environment when you're on a night out, when drinks are flowing and she sees you as a potential threat. Okay? Such as you can perceive this through your own gaze. You as a man will see a man who you deem potentially intimidating, right? And you might say, well, I don't think he's intimidating, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but your internal mechanism and your subconscious will align the patterns you've experienced through life and identify this man as a threat regardless, due to the fact you've seen many men like him who might be a little bit unhinged, might be a bit unapproachable. So you as a man perceive it essentially in the same realm as the woman in this particular case for a one-off. You need to present yourself as a little bit submissive, okay? Non-verbally speaking, you don't need to be big and strong and tough and stiff. Allow yourself to be fluid, like the water which represents the feminine. Be fluid, have motion. Don't be afraid of cracking a smile if you feel that way. Don't fake it, but you don't have to be stone-faced. Take a moment to look in oneself and have a moment of meditation, just for a few seconds. Release the pressure of your face, the stiffness of your face. On this channel, I've got hypnosis videos, guided hypnosis, and it tends to start with this release of the stress so we can delve into this internalized state. You can't do so without relieving the muscles of the stress of the day, of the week, of the month. Okay, so you start from the top of your head and just slowly feel this glow come down your face, releasing and smoothing out the muscles, right? And then once you do so and pay attention to that and acknowledge that and apply that, you're not going to have the angry furrowed brow. You're not going to have the upturned nose, the flared nostrils, the stiff mouth. You're going to be more approachable. Now, the woman's not going to come over and say, hello, you're beautiful, you're sexy and all this and that. I mean, unless you are the most handsome man on planet Earth and you really do this well. But generally speaking, that's not the case. But what she is going to do is feel comfortable sitting beside you in that coffee shop, feel comfortable being close to you whilst in that train station, feel comfortable and unthreatened and unchallenged when sitting beside you at that bus stop, right? Such as you as a man would do if you saw somebody who you deemed unthreatening, okay? This opens up the gate for discussion and conversation, because what's the opposite? The opposite is she keeps her distance. The opposite is she looks at you and at a quick first impression, quick judgment, she thinks, I'd rather sit over there next to those people who seem a little less threatening. She don't even need to question why she makes her choice. She just does it. She takes action. It's a defensive and survival mechanism within her to protect herself. First law of nature is self-preservation. So when you are presenting yourself as the overt masculine man, they might tell you to present yourself as. You have to understand that is as repulsive as it is attractive. Yes, this woman wants a masculine man, but she also wants a man who encapsulates both properties. Okay, the feminine and the androgynous is incredibly attractive because it serves as a mirror that represents what she loves more than you, and that is herself. So if you reflect her own characteristics, her own behaviors, and her own air of submissive value, she will feel aligned with you and come closer to you, right? As two become one, it's mirroring. And then when she's next to you, she might not wave at you, might not start touching you up, might not start wanking you off or anything like that. But what she is going to do is become available. And that's the cold approach. Yes? You're turning a cold approach into a lukewarm approach. All right? We're not just going in the streets as a desperate, dog and pedestalizing these women to heaven and back, saying, I've gone out of my way and spent my day coming and speaking to women like you, woof, woof, woof. No, you're doing your thing. You're having a cup of coffee. You're waiting for the train. You're doing a bit of reading. You're engaging in society, but you are applying this almost deceptive military-esque art of war. Be weak when you are strong. essence to your identity that only further enhances the enigma as to which you are once you do start engaging, and when you do showcase your masculine principles and qualities as to which she is going to find further interest in, and she's going to start pursuing you. So first she has allowed herself to be close to you for you to engage in conversation, and then she can start pursuing you, given you play your cards right. And that is the masculine and feminine position. That is dominance and submission. That is leader and follower in display. Isn't that some game? Click like and subscribe, people. I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.